Morrison have a range of chainsaws, from electric chainsaws to the more heavy-duty petrol chainsaws, from 26 to 52cc engines. Electric. This Morrison electric chainsaw is light in weight and will only require chain lube for bar and chain lubrication in this tank here. The beauty of this chainsaw is that there is no petrol engine to fuel up and pull start. It's just a simple squeeze of the trigger. Setting up your electric chainsaw. When using any electric outdoor power equipment, it is important you use a reputable residual current device, RCD, to ensure your safety from an electric shock. Plug your power cord into the RCD, then your power mains like so. Safety equipment is paramount when it comes to operator safety. Morrison recommends, at a minimum, appropriate safety glasses, ear muffs or plugs and gloves when operating power garden products. So, let's cut some wood. Squeeze the trigger like this, and electric chainsaws are very useful in less remote areas and where power leads can be easily connected, ideal for small to medium-sized yards. Petrol. Petrol chainsaws, such as this 16-inch 37cc model, are rugged and versatile. Because they have a two-stroke engine, they can be transported and operated nearly anywhere they are required to work. All Morrison petrol chainsaws use genuine and world-famous Walbro carburetors and reliable aluminium piston and chrome-lined engine cylinders. This means performance and reliability is not compromised by substandard quality on critical components. Other important features include chain brake systems. This includes manual and inertia-operated systems. These important safety features will help avoid serious injury from kickback that can occur if a chainsaw is operated carelessly. Let me demonstrate. If the chainsaw suddenly propels itself in an upward motion toward the operator, your hand on top handle will activate the chain brake like this. It will stop the chain spinning within a second, reducing the chances of serious injury. The inertia feature automatically activates the chain brake without your hand physically touching the brake. This activation is caused by a sudden jolt effect, inertia, from the chainsaw kicking back or accidentally being bumped or dropped. With any chainsaw, safety is paramount. It is recommended that all safety equipment is used and the chainsaw itself is handled correctly as per the manual supplied. Two-stroke engine starting procedure. When operating a Morrison chainsaw, ensure you have a clear space away from anything or anyone that may come in contact with the chain and bar. Fill up the fuel tank with fresh, recommended two-stroke fuel mix. Then, remove the oil reservoir cap and fill with chain bar oil. You are now set to start the engine. Turn on the switch. Prime the carburetor by pushing this primer bulb here. You can push it as many times as you like, as it only circulates fuel through the carburetor and will not flood the engine. Now we pull the choke completely out like this. Place our foot on the rear handle of the chainsaw. It's important to have full control over the chainsaw when starting, and at no time should you ever drop start a chainsaw from a standing position. Okay, pull the starter cord until the engine gives a fire or starting type sound. Now, take the choke off by pushing it back in. Pull the cord again, and the engine starts. If the engine stops immediately, then repeat the starting procedure. Let the engine warm up for a few seconds, then squeeze the throttle to rev up the engine and let it then go back to the idle position. You're now ready to do some cutting. A handy safety tip is, when you're not operating the chainsaw, activate the chain brake. This will reduce any chances of injury if the throttle is inadvertently knocked. Don't forget to deactivate it when you start cutting. When cutting, use the entire bar length and push the engine in as close to the log as possible. The natural pulling of a sharp cutting chain will assist in downward pressure. Most of the models have a wood spike to assist with this. Don't attempt to use the chainsaw like a handsaw and push in and out. Keep engine stationary and let the weight and downward forces pull the chain and bar through the wood. If you find yourself pushing down with more force than normal on chainsaw cutting bar, or it's not cutting straight, then the cutting chain needs to be sharpened. There are a variety of different cutting applications that are covered off in your Morrison chainsaw manual. Ensure you familiarize yourself with the information before operating the chainsaw. Tensioning the chainsaw cutting chain. It is very important to keep your cutting chain at a good tension. A firm tension chain will avoid any possibility of the chain coming off when you're using it, making it much safer for the operator. An over-tension chain will put unnecessary load on the clutch sprocket and bar. Firstly, loosen the bar nut found on the side of your machine here. You don't need to loosen it off too much, just enough so the bar can move a little. Once loosened, grab your flat-headed screwdriver and lift the tip of the bar up. Locate the adjusting screw that's mounted on the inside of the bar here. Turn the screw inwards, clockwise. Push the bar back to make the tension on the chain tighter. Reverse this screw anti-clockwise to loosen the tension. To check you have the correct cutting chain tension on the bar, place a firm grip on the cutting chain and pull it up with your thumb and finger, and with reasonable force. The bottom of the drive link here should just come to the top of the bar like this, no further. Perfect. That's the correct tension you want. When moving or handling cutting chain, always use a cloth or good gloves, as cutting chain is very sharp. Make sure the cutting chain is revolving freely around the bar without fouling. If it's very difficult and tight to revolve, then it may have been over-tensioned. Once you have completed checking the cutting chain tension, tighten off the nut with your spanner. Again, holding the bar up, be careful not to over-tighten the nut. Do one more check of the cutting chain by pulling it up again. You're now ready to start using your Morrison chainsaw. The chainsaw cutting chain will need to be retensioned regularly when it's new, as it will stretch. Do this only when the chainsaw cutting chain is cooled down, otherwise this could cause an over-tensioned chain. All products in the Morrison Outdoor Garden range come complete with a 24-month customer warranty, offering you peace of mind and confidence that your product was crafted with quality. Morrison, durable, hardworking, and affordable.